Well, appreciate you guys as always taking time to cover our team, and being that it's Thanksgiving week, obviously don't want it to be the only time that we sit back and think about the things we're grateful for and thankful for, but obviously this week in particular want to. So start with myself. Just some things that I'm really thankful for and grateful for. Obviously, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, man, with him, all things are possible. Thankful for the relationship I have with him that needs to continue to grow week in and week out. Thankful for my wife, Rachel, who is a mother of 3 kids under 5, and does a phenomenal job with our kids that we're called to be here to have an impact on our players, this community, and it can only do it with her by my side. I'm thankful for our players too. Just thankful for them and the work they put in, and we've been through some hard things this season, but they've gotten up off the mat every single time and kept swinging. Thankful for our staff, short week, working their tails off, bringing a lot of good energy with this team, and even with some of the stuff we've been through, not flinching, finding answers, growing. Thankful to have the best athletic director in the country in Jeremiah Dickey that not only wants to win games, which you all want to, but wants to have an impact on the student athletes and make a difference. So, and then lastly, I'm thankful for Bronco Nation. Always shows up. We have the best fan base in the country. No matter what, they support us. They support our team. They support what we're doing. They support doing football the right way and being all about impacting young men and growing them to be world changers. And so thankful for that. In regards to the game on Saturday, proud of how our team was able to come out and win. Proud of us starting fast. The 3 biggest stats you look at in games is the explosive play battle and the turnover battle. We had 15 explosive plays on offense. We gave up 5 on defense. That's a win for the Broncos. And then when you look at the turnover margin, we were +2. We took the ball away 4 times, obviously turned it over twice, which we need to continue to work in and grow in. But whenever you win those 2 stats, it's a huge win for our team. And our team was on the attack. That's coaches, that's players. Obviously, there's some things in the game that you look at, you want to fix, and we need to grow in, and that's what we're doing as coaches. It's all about us to start. But proud of how our guys were able to respond and play much better and grow, and we need to. We need to be on the rise, and I believe that we're going to continue to work our tails off to grow. Obviously got a huge opponent in Utah State on a short week, Friday at 2 o'clock. They're undefeated at home. They've played extremely well at home. They obviously had a big-time road win at Fresno State, played them really well. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more, but we know the home atmosphere is going to be really good. Weather might be a part of it, which we've been in weather games before, but it might be cold, might get snow, might get some rain. We'll see what it is, but we know their fan base is big time as well, and they're gonna pack that place out. So we know those are some things that we got to deal with the environment, and they played really well at home. And then I think the world of Bronco Mendenhall. He's been a guy that I've known for a while now. Pick his brain on things, and he's a guy that does the right way. He's a guy that I think, coaches to have an impact, and I've seen him from afar for a long time, got to know him over the couple years, and he just has always done a really good job with the teams he's coached, and obviously no different at Utah State. You watch this team in all 3 phases. They play very, very hard, and they're really physical. It doesn't matter what position you play on at Utah State, you're going to be a physical football team, and they do that. Offensively, talk about their quarterback to start, Bryson Barnes. When we got done with our game, had media and some other stuff on Saturday and went home, and my wife Rachel was watching a couple games, and we're watching the Utah State, Fresno State game, and a couple plays in that game, she looks at me and she says, "That quarterback is so good." I'm like, "Babe, you're 100% correct." And he's an impressive player, man. Not only just in the plays he makes, Bryson Barnes is tough. He'll take hits. And he's an absolute elite competitor. I think the world of Bryson Barnes. Just watching his body of work, and he's been doing it for a long time. But what he's been able to do this season, he's probably going to be the offensive player of the year in our conference. And he's absolutely deserving of that. So we know we got to find a way to slow down number 16. Their offensive line does a really good job. You see them against Fresno State. They were able to impose their will in the run game. They've got receivers and tight ends that can make people miss and make the big time catch. And they got one of the better running backs in our conference at number 2 that can really take the distance. You see a couple of the big time explosive runs. And they're a top 25 offense for a reason. And they're on the attack. They put you in a lot of conflict, and you might cover everything down the pass game, but if number 16's got room, it's going to be a problem. And so it's really hard to defend, and we've got our work cut out for us defensively. On the flip side, their defense, they play really, really hard defensively. They base out of a 3 down front. They get to a lot of different pressures. They attack. Their guys play really, really hard. Their linebacker, number 20, is one of the better linebackers in our conference. I mean, he's one of the top stat leaders around. But overall, they play really hard. They're really sound. Obviously, Bronco being a defensive background, they're going to give you some looks to attack you. They're going to pick their pressures. They're going to have really good coverage adjustmts. Their back end plays well together. Number one, a corner transfer from New Mexico, is one of the better DBs in our conference. And then Ike Larson, number 18, also a really good player on special teams, is one of their safeties, and he's all around the ball, really good tackler. So we know they're going to be on the attack defensively, going to play really hard, and they do a good job creating turnovers. And we know if we get to third down, they're going to have a lot of different packages to attack us. We got to be ready for those things. Special teams wise, they've got some really good returners, just like we see every week, but they're going to be really sound on special teams. They're not going to make mistakes. They're going to play really, really hard and physical, and they're going to make sure they find ways to win the hidden yardage. So got a lot of respect for Bronco, a lot of respect for Utah State, undefeated home, probably right now playing better than almost anybody in our conference. And that's a testament to them, their staff. And so we as a team got our work cut out for us. It's a huge game at 2 o'clock on Friday.
Last week was your first game without Amari McCoy starting. How did you feel about the performance from Demetrius Freeney and Sherrod Smith?
Yeah, I thought both of them did a good job. Weren't tested a ton, but man, they did a really good job. I mean, both those guys we believe in. We call Demetrius Freeney Meach. So, I mean, Meach and Rod, they both do a good job. We're going to rotate both of them this week, but I'm very, very confident in both of them. Obviously, Jeremiah had a great outing and has put together a really good senior campaign, but both Meach and Rod, we feel very confident going in there to play and play a lot.
Back at the beginning of the season, we're talking about Sire and we're saying like it's taken him a couple games to, really, and he's really starting to hit game speed. But man, these last 2 weeks, it feels like he's just also hit another gear. Why is he being able to, I don't know, look more explosive, or I don't know if that's the right way to phrase it. But he's been really explosive. I mean, he had 4 explosive runs himself last week.
That's right. Yeah, I think Sire Gaines' Colorado State game was the best game of the season for him. And probably in production, but more just how he went about it, Jay. Like, he was explosive. He broke a lot of tackles. MAs weren't there, missed assignments. Like, he was doing what he was supposed to do. And I think a lot of it is just the biggest message for me with Cy, and I know for him, is go be you, man. Go be you. Go have fun playing football. You're a redshirt freshman. Cut it loose. Trust your training. Trust the Lord. Go let it rip, man. And he's showing that because he's a football guy. He's a Boise State Bronco through and through. Go out there and cut it loose, man. You're not going to be perfect. You're young. Give yourself grace. Hold yourself to high standards, but when you make mistakes, fix them and move on. And Coach Jamo's done a really good job with them, and he's playing really good football right now.
What stood out about maybe the rhythm of play calling Nate Potter was in after you've had time to watch the film?
Yeah, I thought Coach Potter and our offensive staff did a really good job with the game plan going into Colorado State. We were on the attack. Running the football is a DNA part of what we do, so that's something we have to be able to do consistently, and we're able to do against Colorado State. And from that opened up a lot of the different pass games we were able to get to, but we wanted to be on the attack. We wanted to attack through the run, through the pass, through the screen game, and I thought Coach Potter did a really good job mixing it up, and that's a mentality we want to have offensively. Doesn't mean it's always going to go perfect. We had some drop balls, we had some missed blocks, we had some missed assignments. But we were on the attack, and I want our players to always feel that way in all 3 phases. And I thought Coach Potter and our offensive staff did a really good job.
Watching the Utah State-Fresno State game after your game Saturday, seeing that path kind of become clearer to the Mountain West Championship game, what was your reaction? And I know you guys are going to want to win no matter what the situation is, but how much extra light does that bring for you guys this week?
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it's exciting to be a team that week 12 of college football season still has everything to play for. Right. And there's a lot of teams in the country that maybe don't have that kind of path in front of us. So my message to our team was just enjoying this moment. I said, guys, look, we've been knocked on the mat this season. We've been knocked down, but they got back up every single time and kept swinging. Right now, what's promised to us is a big time matchup against Utah State, and we're going down there to work our tails off to play our best. But I think when you're in a situation like 4 or 5 of us Mountain West teams are right now, it's exciting. And it's November football, and it's week 12 of the season. But our sole focus is to play our best against Utah State.
Now Max has played a couple of games, has a good game this past weekend. Can you see a little bit more of a confidence and readiness to go about him heading into this week?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, seeing the couple weeks of prep, he's been the starter now through consecutive weeks, Sean, and he's got a great demeanor about himself, not trying to be anybody but himself. He's executing well in practice. He's got a really good confidence about himself, and that's going to continue to rise.
Maddox, you're still thinking maybe not.
I think it's still going to be a long shot for him this week. He's doing a great job in the training room. He's getting much closer, but I still think it's going to be tough for him to be able to play this weekend.
How's Chris?
Yeah, so Chris practiced today, did a really good job today. So Chris will be ready to rock this weekend. Jason Steele practiced today, which will be awesome. Latrell Caples, we're still kind of going through stuff with him, but he's a warrior. So we'll see what we can get. We'll know more here in the next 24 hours about Latrell. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing on the injury side of things. I think those are the main ones right now, off the top of my head.
I think touched on Latrell. What was he doing? Like, go back and look. This is like such an awkward fall. I don't even know what really happened there.
Yeah, he's doing good. I mean, it was an interesting thing that happened. If you watch the film, like his head didn't hit the turf. It was almost like his shoulder pads and how they hit his neck. And our trainers kind of gave me this whole biological rundown that still to this day doesn't make sense to me. But like watching the clip, you're kind of like, why'd that happen? But he's in really good spirits. He's in a good spot. It's also week 12 of the season, so he's just banged up, beat up, and we're always going to put our players' safety number one. But I feel confident that Latrell is going to be able to play. He was banged up today and wasn't able to go through a lot of practice, but he's an absolute warrior. He's a team guy, and so I feel confident that he's gonna be ready.
See Mason Randolph's video of him running out of the tunnel with the hammer.
Yes.
He was running out like
So cool.
The joy of a little kid on Christmas morning, it seemed like.
So cool. I mean, when we told Mace that he was going to carry out the hammer for senior night and that was earned and deserved, I mean, the joy he had on it wasn't like, okay, cool. The joy on his face, he was like, I've waited 5 years for this moment. And I about started crying when he was telling me this because it just, the joy, I mean, he was so fired up to be able to do that, which is such a symbolic part of our blue-collar mentality here. And Mason Randolph embodies our blue-collar mentality here. So for him to be able to carry the hammer on senior night, earned and deserved.
Welcome, Mendenhall. He's coached some good games against Boise State over the years. As a head coach to a head coach, what do you like about it?
Yeah, I've gotten to know Bronco over the years, and obviously when he was at BYU, we didn't know each other at those times, but got to know him when he was a little bit at Virginia and through his time, so recently. But I just think a guy that does it the right way, coaches his players hard, but loves them even harder and cares about their life, and he's been successful everywhere he's been. I mean, that's uncommon in today's landscape. I mean, BYU was very successful, won a ton of games. Virginia, very successful when prior Virginia wasn't really that successful. He comes in, changed the program. You look at New Mexico, turns them around last year. Look at Utah State. I mean, what they've been able to do, how they've been able to win, how they've been able to play this season. So he's a program builder. He's a developer. He's a developer of young men. I got a lot of respect for him. I don't know him extremely well, but have had really good conversations with him from afar. And then obviously being in the same conference together, and we'll continue to be in the same conference. Just got a ton of respect for Bronco and how he goes about his business.
Barnes, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Just what do you see about his composure?
Guys, I mean, I think he's going to be the offensive player of the year in our conference. He's one of the toughest football players we've seen all season for dang sure, maybe in a while. I mean, he gets hit, he gets up. I mean, you see the look on his face, like, I'm going to will this team to victory, and he does. That's uncommon. And I respect him through the roof on how he's about it. And he can do it all. I mean, he can make the throw, he can make the run, he can make the check. He's smart with the football. They don't turn the ball over. He's an elite quarterback.
Spencer, where do you think you've grown as a head coach this year most, or where certain areas?
Man, Johnny, hopefully a lot of different areas, because there's been a lot of things that I've had to work through this season and a lot of things that I've had to look in the mirror and learn from and grow from and problem solve. So I think a lot of areas, Johnny, a lot of areas in messaging with the team, how to handle some of the hard situation we've been through. I mean, I went through some things this season that I've never gone through before as a head coach. Never lost on the blue before till this season. Never been through some of these moments. Had to remove a player from the football team. Had to suspend some play. Like, there's some things that I've to date haven't really had to cross a lot and had to this year. And looking at myself and how I can be better. How can I empower our players and our coaches more? So it's a daily process, Johnny. I want to be a constant work in progress, and I want to always be the best version of myself. That's why I tell our team, I can't expect them to be their best if I'm not every single day. We can't hold our players to high standards if us as coaches aren't holding ourselves to the highest standards. So constant work in progress. I want to be better tomorrow than I am today, and that's kind of always how I look at it.
look at like the success of last year's defense, it just seemed like there were a lot of situations where you guys built leads and kind of dictated what opposing offenses did. And that's just to get in a game where you guys could like kind of just, I say, pin your ears back at time, but rush the passer, and it's like there were a half dozen guys on defense that you consider like great games, probably, at least statistically for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, two just very different seasons. Last year we were not losing in a lot of games. And so I've been asked before, last year we led the entire nation in sacks. Credit to Coach Shenander, credit to our defensive front, our defense in general, no question. But we were winning. And so that dictates what an offense is going to do. And when you can pin your ears back and make an offense one-dimensional, you can let it rip. This season's been very different. We've been in really tight ball games, been losing in games, and we got to find a way to stop the run. So it puts you in different situations than our team was in last season. And every year's a new year. Every team's different. But I'm proud of how our defense has been able to. I mean, right now we're a top 25 defense in total defense. And are we perfect? Absolutely not. We still got to grow in our tackling. We still got to grow in a lot of these situations and how we leverage formations. But I'm proud of how our defense has been able to grow.
I guess more specifically, it just seemed like they were also having fun. And it wasn't just like one guy getting 2 picks, although there was that. But just a lot of guy had production. So what does that do for overall morale, and how does that kind of spread?
It's huge. I mean, especially we've been through some hard things this season, right? We've lost some games. We haven't played our best in games. There's been a lot different things lacking in these situations. And for our team to go out and play very, very hard, physical, bring a lot of juice, that carries, right? Momentum is created from execution. So when someone goes out and gets an interception, gets a sack, gets a 4th down stop, it not only helps the entire team because you got the ball back or made a big stop, the sideline goes crazy. There's a lot of juice. Then when the offense is back up there, it's like, let's go down the field and attack. Let's go. It's a chain reaction. And we've needed that, and we haven't had that in some situations. And so trying to make sure that that's a DNA part of who we are, that we are going to celebrate each other. We're going to have joy with each other, even if it's not going the way we want it to. Because you know what? You're one play away from executing to where the momentum's right back on your sideline and you're celebrating each other out again. So I think a lot of that comes back to responding to adversity. We haven't responded to adversity great throughout this season. And we talked about Utah State. Utah State's a very good football team. They're going to make a lot of plays. How are we going to respond when they do? Are we going to put our hands up and say, here we go again? I don't think so. I'm proud of our team growing. And yes, we've got a really good team we're playing against. They're going to make plays. How do we respond and play the next one and celebrate each other every single time?
Sire, 22 carries for you guys on Saturday. Obviously, this year you haven't had to hand the ball off to somebody 30 times like last year, but just talk about the way he's been a workhorse and just able to push through all those carries.
Yeah, just proud of how Sai's been able to grow this entire season. And had some, mistakes maybe early on in the season, maybe didn't get the production that he wanted or we wanted for him, but he's just continued to grow, continue to fight and scratch and improve and handle his business. And you want every individual on this team to be growing and on the rise, and I believe Sire is.
Are you proud of the way your players, JVM maybe specifically, handled that situation on Saturday?
I am, yeah. I'm proud of the coaches around JVM, Coach Frazier in particular, grabbing him, making sure that he didn't do something he shouldn't do. Because, getting spit-ons, that's a rough one. But I'm proud of him. I'm proud of how Brax were able to handle themselves. And there have been times this season where we have absolutely not handled ourselves with poise the right way. We were the ones committing the personal foul. So I'm proud of our guys in those moments, coaches included, handling themselves the right way.
What is second off meant or is not meant to kind of your guys' team over these last few years?
Yeah.
It might just be, I don't know, before it was Tyler Crow, was the local kid that was the running back that was good on special teams, and I think they operate with maybe just a little bit of a different intensity, but still, what has Seth kind of meant, and how good was it to see him get in the end zone on senior night?
Man, it was I would ask people, when you watch Seth score the touchdown, look at what our sideline does. It erupts. I maybe should have been a penalty on that game because I felt like our entire sideline chased him down into the end zone, and that's a testament to who Seth is. Constant, works his tail off on scout team, giving our defense the best look that he can as a running back or receiver or whatever's needed that week. He's a team guy, local kid that loves his team, loves these brothers. And so in that moment where he scored that touchdown late in the game, our team erupted because they know how much he cares about them.
Roman Kaywood's getting a little more run lately too. What have you seen out of him?
Roman Kaywood's a good football player. Redshirt freshman. I mean, we've got some really good young edge guys, and Roman Kaywood's, I mean, I think he's going to be really, really good. He had a big-time play on Saturday with a screen where he was dropping, foot faked an offensive lineman, came in, made a TFL. Roman Kaywood is wired the right way now, too. I mean, he's in this building every day. I don't know what is 5:45, maybe 6, going through his regimen, getting his body warmed up, watching film. I mean, he's a machine, and that's uncommon for a kid who's a redshirt freshman. But that's why he's been on the rise. He's got a really good skill set. Coach Frazier's done a really good job with him. And Roman Kaywood's going to be a really good football player here at Boise State.
Yep. All right.
Thanks, guys.